Sure, this is recording. All right, cool. So we are recording. We wanted to welcome you all to the call, and we are excited that you're here. It's going to be very informal tonight. We don't have slides. We don't have like graphics and images. We're just going to hang out and chat with you and kind of just talk about what it is that we do as coaches, share our stories, kind of explain what it is that you would be doing as a coach, taking any questions that you have. We really want you guys to get the most out of this. So this is going to be kind of catered to you. So throughout the webinar, if you have a question that comes up, put it in the chat so we can answer it, and we make sure that you're getting something out of this webinar. You're here, you're present on this, you're spending your time here. We want to make sure that you do get the information that you're looking for. And what I think would be really awesome to get started with that, so that when we get towards the end, we have some stuff to really dive into, is if you could share in the chat box, what is maybe the biggest question that you have, or maybe like an objection that you have, a fear of coaching that you have, like something that's maybe holding you back from getting started, anything like that. Share that in the chat. And if you are a current coach and you are on here, I would love to know what it was for you, like what it was, that thing that was maybe holding you back from getting started, or that thing that you were afraid of that you later found out to be just something silly. So if you could do that while we get started, I think that would be awesome. And then Natalie's actually going to kick it off and share her story, and we're going to go back and forth with this. So I'm going to mute myself so she can unmute herself and get going with that. But make sure you do that in the chat so that we have some stuff to talk about later on, and it's stuff that you actually want to know. So go ahead, Nat. Oh, and my name's Carolyn, by the way. I always forget to do that.
Hi guys, I'm Natalie. I know some of you on the call, and like Carolyn said, thanks for taking time out of your Wednesday night to hang out with us. We're going to keep it short and informal, like she said. We both have super different stories about how we got started, so I'm excited for you guys to kind of hear both of our stories. So I'm just going to dive in. I started coaching, I think it's like 2.5 years ago now. At the time, I wasn't really looking for like new workouts or a new routine in that sense. And everything in my life kind of seemed like it was honestly like really good, and it was really good on paper. So I had the great job, good paying job, had the boyfriend, fiance now, had a cute little dog, have a cute little dog, still have him, Colt. And I had this house that I bought, and like on paper, everything seemed like so great. Like all the things were happening in my life, but like there was still something missing. And there was like this moment, I was just like, I need something more in my life. I didn't know what it was going to be. Did I think it was going to be this at the time? Absolutely not. But I was kind of on a search for something more. Backstory about my job too. I've been there for 10 years. So I'm kind of in a place where I'm like all the way at the top there. So I got to that point where I was like not super fulfilled, and was kind of just like going through the motions at work and felt a little bit stuck. And it got to the point where I was like, am I literally going to wake up for the rest of my life and like do the wake up, rush, get out of bed, throw clothes on, go to work, commute an hour to work all day for someone else, doing something that I actually don't truly love, drive home another hour, make dinner, rinse and repeat it. Like literally that was my life. And like, I feel like that's what most people's lives are. And prior to like deciding that I wanted something more, I like was okay with that. And it's all good until it's not good. So then I was like looking, I didn't know what I was looking for. And I happened to be following someone on Instagram, which I'm sure some of you guys, or maybe all of you, had connected with whoever invited you here on Instagram, powerful social media. But I was following this girl, I didn't know her. And she was kind of sharing in her stories, like she was talking on them, which also was like my nightmare at the time. I'm like, there's no way I could ever do that. This girl's so brave. Like, how is she talking on her Instagram stories? But anyways, I was listening to her, and I was probably listening to her for like 2 to 3 months about the stuff she was sharing. I saw she was doing fitness stuff, and like I've always liked health and fitness. I saw that she was talking about like some business that she was doing, and from what I could tell, it sounded like it was a fitness business. Did I know at the time that it was Beachbody? Absolutely not. In the past, backstory, I'm going to go backwards a little bit. I had been approached by people in the past who were Beachbody coaches that wanted me to like coach on their team or join a challenge group, and I was turned off by all of it. So like looking back 2 years ago, you would have never like pictured me being in the spot that I am now, because I had written it off. Like I didn't want anything to do with it. But until I related so much to Brittany and what she was sharing and how she was showing up authentically, and just sharing her journey. And to me, it was like, wow, this girl's really cool. Like, she likes wine. I like wine. She likes cheese. I love cheese. Like, she's really cool. Like, I feel like I want to be friends with her. So I think that naturally, like, got me to trust her without even really knowing her, to be honest with you. So after a little bit of watching her, I'm like, this sounds really cool. This could be like a cool thing. So I messaged her, which is like super creepy at the time, but it's really not. So I messaged her and just like said, hey, this is really weird, but like, what are you doing? Like, I've been watching your stories. And she said, do you want to hear about the fitness or do you want to hear about the business? And I was like, well, the business, but I guess both. And I signed up to be a coach literally 20 minutes later. And she maybe told me 2 sentences. I already knew everything she was doing, essentially, based on what she was sharing on her social media. So the only reason it took me 20 minutes to sign up was because I was at Plato's Closet, like selling back old clothes, and I didn't have good service. So I like couldn't check out at the cart. So I got in the car, signed up right away. And I was like, okay, what do I have to do to get started? So that was kind of how it worked. And it ended up being the thing that I really needed. It's funny though, because I say like, oh, she was like talking on her story and it's so scary. I could never do that. And my first thing I said to her when I signed up is like, this is all sounds really cool, but I'm not sharing on social media. Like, I'm not doing it. And she's like, okay, cool. Like, you can do whatever you want. Like, however you want, I can tell you how you can be successful. And if you want to post, you can. If you don't, your choice. And what do? I post, because like, turns out that's what I did and how I became successful. So I kind of just learned how to do it. And it was intimidating at first, I guess you could say. Like, if you were to scroll back through my Instagram feeds, true like transparency here, it's probably pictures of like those Four Locos and like me by a pool or something. So like, I didn't have like this like Instagram page that was like, wow, she's like is really inspiring. But I learned and started to grow myself and like learn how to share it. So really, it wasn't like I had to know what I was doing to actually start this thing. But it's been fun to like build the relationships and kind of build my own brand, but using like another tool. And we'll get into more of what we do. But again, I didn't come into it for the workouts, but it turns out I actually did need the workouts because I was also stuck in a routine with my health and fitness, and I wasn't really truly committing to myself. So signing up as a coach really helped me stay accountable to my own journey as well. With the business now, almost 2.5 years later, I had told myself my first year as a coach, everything that I made through Beachbody, obviously you have to work hard to make money. Like, you're not just going to like sign up as a coach and like magically make all this money. But I told myself that anything that I made, I was going to put towards my student loans. And I had $60,000 in student loan debt when I graduated, and doing this business and working hard, like I was able to pay almost half of that off, more than what I thought I was going to in that first year, because I committed to matching everything I made with Beachbody to pay off my student loans. And like, I legitimately thought I would be paying off my student loans. Like, I originally was like, oh, I'm just going to pay them until they default. Dumb, but that's what I thought. And so like, I finally found this extra source of income that really helped me with that. So that's been really fun for me. And the creative freedom with it, how you run the business is totally up to you. For me, I just choose to show up and like share things that I think people may relate to. And I just try to connect with people that are like me and people that maybe want to try something different and get more out of life. So for me, it was 100%. I came into it for the business, but I ended up getting a business, getting bridesmaids in my weddings, not weddings, making great friendships and just like enjoying my life and getting that thing that I was looking for. I also dropped down to part-time hours at work. So I don't work 45 to 50 hours a week anymore. I work like 25 to 30, sometimes more if I pick up extra shifts, but I've been able to kind of start to build a life by design by just saying yes to like this thing that I was like, oh, sure, what the hell, let's try it. So I could ramble about this probably for an hour, but I know Carolyn wants to tell her story too, and we have other things, but that's kind of my story and like how I got started and why I'm still here 2.5 years later.
Thanks, Nat. You made me laugh when you said Four Locos. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I have a picture like that too. Although I think mine's a 40, but same thing. So same concept. But my name is Carolyn, and I have been a coach for a little over 5 years now. I started right out of college. And my story is very different, but kind of similar to Natalie's in the sense that, I didn't realize how big this was going to be in my life until I really dove all in with it. I'm super distracted. I see a little cute puppy on the screen too. So sorry, squirrel brain. But um, when I started, like I said, I was 22. I had just gotten out of college. But I didn't join for the business. I joined for the health and fitness side of things because I had just graduated. I was like 25 pounds heavier. I was in a sorority. I drank a lot. I ate a lot of stuff I shouldn't be eating. And I just had put on a lot of weight, didn't recognize myself anymore, felt really shitty, and needed this for me. So when I found out that I could do this and do it and get a discount as a coach, I'm like, okay, cool, sign me up. I'll do it. But I'm not going to do the business side. I'm just going to work on myself. And it didn't take me very long to realize that this was so much more. I started to feel good about myself. I started getting results, and my confidence just started going through the roof. And people started to notice that, and they were asking me what I was doing. I had people reaching out to me. I just was sharing it and didn't realize like I was coaching. I was telling people about it. You got to do this. You got to do this. It's so awesome. I feel so great. I want other people to feel that way too. And then next thing you know, like I was all in with this, and I decided to build this kind of on the side while I was teaching. I didn't have any intentions of leaving teaching at all. I didn't really know that I wasn't going to enjoy it as much as I didn't. And I was in my first year as a teacher. So I was first year teacher in kindergarten with all the little kids, and also enrolled in grad school. So double dose of basically having two jobs. Then I was starting this business from the ground up. I was also in a new relationship, and you know how much time that takes to be like in a new relationship. You just want to be with each other all the time. And you do kind of have to manage your time. And I was driving 3 hours a day. So I didn't have much like extra time on paper. You would be like, where the hell are you going to fit this in? But I decided that this was important to me, and I made the time for it. And I just kind of looked at my schedule and said, where am I doing things that are not moving my life forward? Like, how many hours a day am I spending on my phone scrolling and doing nothing, where I could be using that time effectively to connect with other people and help other people and make a difference? How many hours am I in the car listening to music when I could be listening to a podcast, or I could be listening to a team call or some type of training that our team had out there? So I just started to kind of utilize my time better. I used my lunch break, and I would connect with other people and clean out my inbox and do all those kind of things during my lunch break, because let's be honest, we have our phones anyway at lunch. We're not just sitting there eating our lunch in solitude. We have our phone. So I just used that time then to build a business. And yeah, there were some sacrifices. There were some nights where I decided to stay in instead of going out because, my business was important to me. I still enjoyed life. I still had fun, but I made this a priority. And in doing so, making those short-term sacrifices have created such long-term like success for me. Those little things, like I said, just like maybe not going out at night and staying in and working my business, I wouldn't trade that for anything. Like the freedom I have now, I would never trade it for anything. And I know that it's because of all of the work that I had put in. So we're not going to sit here and tell you that it's like you're going to sign up and then you're just going to like be like rolling in dough and just having all this time freedom and freedom to travel and all this stuff. You will if you show up daily and do the work. You're able to create your life, and whatever it is that you want to do in your life, whatever your goals are, like this is a vehicle to help you achieve those goals. And we all have different goals. We're all not sitting here wanting the same kind of life. Some of us are moms, some of us are dog moms, some of us are getting married, some of us are married already. Like we are all at different life phases in our lives, and we all want different things out of life. But the best thing about this business is it's pliable. Like you can cater it to whatever it is that you want it to do for you. And all you have to do every single day is just show up and put this, make it something that is important to you, and it'll really pay off and bless your life in more ways than you really even imagine. So like before coaching, I didn't have a lot of friends. I was that girl who got picked on probably my whole life, from elementary school, middle school, high school, college. It just never ended for me. I was afraid to put myself out there on social media because of the bullying that I have dealt with in my past, but I did anyway. I faced the fear and I did it. And it's funny now because a lot of those people are like asking me to help them now. A lot of those people, that I wasn't cool enough for then are like, wow, like you are pretty cool. Like let's work together and like let's connect with each other. And like it just feels really nice to know that like I'm able to help them and I'm able to help myself and I'm able to connect with other people who are like my people. And also like I kind of mentioned before, I had very low self-esteem, very low confidence. I would never be on a call like sharing my life story with people 6 years ago. Like I hated speaking in front of the class, and I had to do a project. I absolutely hated it. I always was like the last one to go, tried to like make the teacher maybe forget that I had to present, so being here now, it's just like a full transformation from that like shy, quiet person who I am today. And it's 100% because, I said yes to coaching and I showed up every day for myself and for this team that just continues to grow every day. And it's such an awesome thing. So now, since I made it work and I put in the time, this is my full-time job. I started in 2014, July 2014, and I left teaching. I retired, I guess. It sounds cooler than quitting. I retired in June of 2015. So like a year later, I was able to leave my job and work full-time from home. I earn a full-time income. I earn more than I earned in the classroom, and I get to wake up when I want to, and I get to wear what I want to, and I can have my hair whatever color I want it to be, and I can have tattoos and piercings and not worry about it. Like I wasn't even able to wear my hoop, and I hated the fact that I couldn't wear it, and like I put it in immediately the day that I left. And just to have freedom over, to travel, and I mean I've traveled 3 times in the past like 4 months. Didn't have to ask for time off. I didn't have to use PTO or any of that, and just having freedom over your schedule and just the friendships you're going to make here, and being debt free is pretty freaking cool too. And none of that would be possible if it weren't for coaching. And I put it in the chat, but I do want to say it out loud too. The income disclaimer, obviously, Beachbody doesn't guarantee any level of success or income. It's really based on what you do and how you show up for yourself and your business and your team, but it is possible. If you want it to be possible for you, it will be. And like Natalie said, she didn't think that she would be able to pay off her student loans as quickly as she did, but she did because she continued to show up every day and she surprised herself. And I'm excited to see all of you guys, join this team and really surprise yourselves too and see, what this can do for you. And that's just like the business side, but even on the health and wellness side, you're going to get healthy as AF. You're going to just feel so confident and so strong. And I honestly, I didn't plan on talking about this, but why not? I just posted about it. This has been the hardest year of my life. I just finished going through a divorce and I just sold my house and I'm in my parents' house right now temporarily. And that's not something that I ever thought would be my life at 27 years old, being divorced, and kind of starting life living with your parents. But it's been really nice to have a business like this, and also having these programs and having this community and having these, these nutritional products have kept me on track. I didn't gain a bunch of weight from being depressed. I didn't go and start drinking and eating all the food in the cabinet like I probably would have years ago. Like having this community has really helped me stay accountable for 5 years. I haven't spiraled backwards like I would in the past. I was always that yo-yo dieter, and just having something like this has impacted every aspect of my life. So like Natalie too, we can talk on and on and on about how awesome this is, but we do want to explain what we actually do. So I'm going to pass it back over to Natalie, but thanks for being here again. And we're just excited that, you're going to be talking about your story and sharing your story someday with other people, and it's just going to feel so awesome. So go ahead, don't let me talk anymore. Go ahead.
Side note too, what Carolyn said, like if you would have asked me if I would ever like do one of like feel like I'd be leading one of these calls, like I would have done like hiding. Like my first time I posted, this is off topic, but I posted like just what I was doing, and I hid my phone under my pillow for like 6 hours. And I was like, I'm so scared. I'm going to check it later. So it's like scary, but like you start to grow so much and you're like, dang, I can do this. What else can I do? But anyways, I'll tell you guys what you can do. So as coaches, like we're just normal people, honestly. We aren't like fitness robots, or, you know, some people on the team are actually certified personal trainers. Some people aren't. Most of us aren't. We are just people that are just looking for more out of life. Like Carolyn said, we have moms, we have dog moms, we have like nutritionists, dietitians, we have teachers, a lot of teachers. I'm an office manager. We have people who work in finance, we have accountants, pretty much any occupation out there, we have people on the team that are in that job. And it's not everyone's goal to quit their full-time job. Like some people love their job. And to be honest with you, like prior to me starting this, like I said I was unfulfilled at work, but I didn't think it would be like a goal of mine to like fully transition out. And it is now, because I can see the freedom that like even Carolyn has created for herself by just showing up for herself. So that's what we do. We show up for ourselves. And the whole premise of this business is about taking care of yourself and letting that shine out to other people so that they can realize that they can work on themselves too, and they can become healthy and happy and like live their best life. So the whole goal is, yes, it's like workout programs and like health and nutrition, but it's like there's so much more than just that. The personal development side of it is a lot bigger than even the fitness side, I think. Prior to this, like something that's required of everyone that's on our team and pretty much any team in the network is reading or listening to personal development. And that was something I had never done before. So every single day I listen to or I read like 20 minutes of personal development just to set my intention for the day, to make sure that I am starting myself or my day off for myself the right way. You know, we're just real and sharing. Like, yeah, you kind of have to share your journey, but it's really cool. Even if someone isn't a client of yours, but if someone messages you and says like, thank you for sharing that. Like, I really needed to hear that today. Or I really needed to feel okay about the fact that I ate a whole bag of jalapeno chips today because you said you did yesterday. You know, like people just need to see and like hear the real and raw stuff, because it's intimidating to like, for when people are like fake and aren't showing up the right way, because then they just feel like they can't do it. So like showing up and being real, like people, as a coach, people are going to buy from you if they like you. They're not going to buy from you because you have 6-pack abs or because like you have the best looking Instagram page. They're going to want to do what you're doing because you're painting a vision and a lifestyle for them that seems appealing. And like everyone wants to try to better themselves, and they want to know that someone can help them do that. So to be honest with you, that's what we do. We reach out to people. Obviously we help people with like health and fitness too. Like we give them like programs that we don't have to create them. So you guys don't have to create programs. We're basically given this library of workouts that are created by well-known trainers, and they create meal plans. They create the programs. We just have to show up and give people options. And we run little groups. I call mine my Fit Fam. So people can check in and we can hold each other accountable to actually doing the workouts once you sign up. But that's it. It's easy. You don't have to have like clients one-on-one. You don't have to go to a gym and meet up with people. Like everything's done online. Some of us work out together in the morning. The physical skill set that it takes to like run this business, I always say this, like you could train a 5-year-old to do it. It's just, you have to do it. So, you know, a lot of people, and something else about I think I told Carolyn about this yesterday. I listened to a podcast, and I know that for me personally, when I first heard about Beachbody, I didn't have like the best taste in my mouth about it, just because I had seen people showing up unauthentically. And that to me seemed like I didn't want that, and I didn't want to be seen as that person. But if you think of it this way, like these types of businesses, everyone gets a shot, but not everyone is going to actually show up and do the work. And a percent, like for example, the NFL, not everyone just gets to go play in the NFL. You have to work your ass off, get a tryout and make the team, and then they're all good. But in like a business like this, not everyone's going to show up. Not everyone's going to do the work. So the 90% that wiggles out, they're going to talk bad and say it doesn't work because they didn't work. But if like something like, where you look at someone like actors and actresses, those people never gave up. Those people hustled. Those people worked hard. Like Michael Jordan didn't even make his freaking basketball team in high school. Like it's crazy to think of it that way. But when you look at the big picture of like, anyone can do this, but you actually have to do it. You have to work on yourself. You have to show up. You have to let other people know that they can do it. So for me, if you do it the right way and you're authentic, like you will have an amazing business and you will succeed, because like if you're faking it, it's so it's very obvious. Like, you know, if you're showing up like, oh, I'm just trying to sell this or do this, like it's not fun. Like be real, have fun with it, like connect with people, be a real human being. Don't just try to sell something to someone. And like that's how it works. So for me, like yes, we have this amazing solution for people, but it's all about finding out what people need and how we can help give that to them, because you're working on yourself and you've done that for yourself already. So if anyone has any like questions in regards to what we do, obviously like when you are a coach on this team, there's training and there's all that fun stuff. And we actually like give you a checklist of what you should be doing to help you succeed. But the whole premises of it is like, take care of yourself, show up for yourself, share your journey, and like people will want to do that with you. Did I miss anything there, Carolyn?
No, you did great. You didn't miss anything.
Okay. I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that.
No, I mean, you covered it all. I think that people are probably wondering how we actually earn an income. So I'm going to talk about
Yeah.
that. So basically, you know, in all of those things that we're doing daily, and Natalie did mention a checklist, you know, there are things that you do to show up for your business. And there are things you're probably doing already. You're just going to be doing them a little differently. You know, we post, you're probably posting, you're just going to probably post a little bit differently and kind of share a little bit more. And we're going to teach you all of that. But the way that you earn an income through coaching is your income. I love to look at it this way. Your income is a direct reflection of the amount of lives that you're changing. So the more lives you change, the more income you make. And that feels really good. Like it feels good to know that your income is a reflection of the impact that you're making. So the bigger the impact, the bigger the paycheck. And you don't have to feel bad about that because you are helping people. Like you're getting paid, first of all, to work on yourself, which is awesome. Like no other job is like, hey, you know what? Go and be the best person you can be. You know, go read some personal development, go work out, you know, go take care of yourself and we're going to pay you. You're like, no other job does that. Like they want you to show up and be there at a certain time and do X, Y, and Z and feel drained. I know I was drained every day I left that classroom and like have almost fallen asleep driving home more times than I should. But like they're not telling you to go and take care of yourself and just work on you and be the best you can be, you know, and this is a job that allows you to do that. So the way that you're paid, you know, every time you help someone, whatever it is that they order, you know, we have different options for people depending on what their goals are. You're going to earn a 25% commission off of whatever it is that they order. And anything else that they continue to order, you're going to continue to earn that 25% commission. Now, there's also other ways to earn income in this business too that you'll tap into as you start to grow a team. And one of those is called team cycle bonus. So basically, when your team does well, you know, you're going to get to earn an income based off of the volume that your whole team is generating as a whole, which is pretty sweet. And that's like the best part about this. You know, we're all helping each other out. You know, it's not just something that you're doing for yourself. You're helping your team and we're all in it together. And then there are other opportunities to earn bonuses for different ranks in the company. We do have quarterly bonuses. We have monthly bonuses and different things like that. But you'll learn more about like how to get those once you're actually a coach, because it would make no sense to kind of explain all of that now when you're not even a coach anyway. But just know the possibility to earn is out there, and you could totally earn a full-time income if you're willing to put in the time to make that happen for you. Did we have any like objections or anything that people are like, I think we covered a lot in our stories and like we answered a lot. I mean, maybe only like the fear of what other people are going to think, but I did kind of touch on that when I was talking about I was afraid to.
Hey, Carolyn?
Yeah.
Hey, I have a question.
Go ahead.
It's kind of negative, so I apologize up front. But it's starting to sound a little bit like an MLM.
Well, it is, but that's not negative. There's nothing negative about an MLM. It just means that it's a multi-level marketing company. And that just basically means that, you know, when you join, you have a mentor and that mentor helps you. And then when you help other people, you become their mentor. And the difference between multi-level marketing and pyramid is pyramid's illegal. multi-level marketing does not equal pyramid. And those are things that there's no product. So if this were a pyramid, basically it would just sign people up and make money, and there's no exchange of product. Multi-level marketing, there's an exchange of product, there's an exchange of services, and you are able to surpass the person who signed you up. And also, not to mention, every business model looks like a pyramid. If you look at the CEO corporate structure, CEO's on the top, and that's just kind of the structure, and that's how it looks. That's just unfortunately the shape of the business, but that is not the type of business that this is. So those things are often confused, but it doesn't equal that.
So you don't make more money like signing up like other coaches and just like people like that than actually.
No, if I signed up like 15,000 people tomorrow and didn't do anything to help them, I wouldn't make any more money.
Okay.
Like, yeah, it's not based on like how many people you can sign up. It's based on how many lives you're changing and how many people that you are helping. And like if I signed up all these people and did nothing, I would not make the kind of money that I do. So it's not based on that. No. Yeah. But
okay, I'm just making sure.
It's a good question because I'm sure other people were thinking it and they were afraid to ask. So it was a good question.
And to touch on that too, it is a good question because I feel like there's that stigma out there about MLMs. But with that too, you can make more money than your mentor, like very, very easily. Me personally, I make more money than my mentor because I work hard.
Yeah.
But at the same time as well, like, let's say you're a coach and like Carolyn's your mentor, she makes $0 off of like your commissions. So everything that you earn, your 25% is your 25%. She makes none of that. The only way she makes money is if she's helping you, and corporate gives her a bonus if you're changing more lives. So she takes none of your commission.
Yeah.
If that's what you're thinking in terms of typical MLM.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, that's kind of where. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
Thank you.
No problem. So you guys want to know how to get started? I think that we should kind of go into that. Right now is a great time to get started.
Oh, I want to.
Yeah?
Sorry.
Hello?
Someone said something about there was training. Carolyn?
Yeah, hello?
Oh. I'm here. Can you hear me?
You're kind of cutting in and out. Do you want to type it in the chat box and we can cover it that way? I think she's like.
Yeah, it looks like this connection might be bad.
Yeah, she's frozen. Okay, so right now, like I said, is a great time to be a coach and to get started as a coach because you know what's coming, winter is coming, but also New Year's is coming and 2020 is coming and people are like, hey, I want to get healthy. So now's a great time for you to start working on your goals because in doing so, when people are ready to get started in January, they're going to remember that they saw you staying consistent all of this month of December, and they're going to know that they can go to you for help. So it's super important right now. Like if you are someone who really wants to take off with this is a wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time of the year to do it. How many winter and holiday jokes can I fit into this? But seriously though, and there's so many options right now that are just super brand new and just super awesome. I like to look at it as there's 3 different paths to get started. So right now we have a new program that just launched. It's called Bar Blend, and it's a bar-inspired program. And if you've ever taken a bar class, you might know what that might look like. But it's more challenging than you would think. It's low impact, just means that both feet are not leaving the ground at the same time. That's what low impact by definition means. But it is great, and you're going to feel the burn in your booty and your core, and you're going to work really hard and you're going to sweat. And if that is the path you'd like to go with Bar Blend, then that is one of the packages that we do have. It'll come with either Shakeology or our performance line, and you can go that route. If bar is not your thing, it's not for you because it's not for everyone. We also have another option that's called the 6 weeks of the hard work challenge pack, which is what I'm currently doing. I know Natalie is currently doing that program. We're almost done with it. And it is for people who want to challenge themselves and push themselves It is challenging. I drop the F-bomb probably 15 times per workout. People look at me like I'm crazy in the gym, but my body is changing. My confidence is just like through the roof, and I'm just getting so much stronger. So if you're someone who maybe you were an athlete in your past and you want to kind of hop back in and push yourself, that'd be a great option for you. And maybe neither of those programs are your thing or your jam, and you're just really not sure where you want to get started and what you want to do first. You would be better off with the All Access Challenge Pack, which will get you access to all of our programs except for the Bar Blend and the 6 weeks of hard work. But you're going to get hundreds of other programs that you can pick from. And all of those options will include either Performance Line, which is like our Energize, people call it, Mom Crack or Unicorn Juice, whatever you want to call it. You could get Energize and Recover, which is for post-workout, so you're not sore the next day and you can actually push yourself again. Or you're going to get Shakeology with that. And then if you are already enrolled in a challenge group, you're already a challenger, and you have Beachbody On Demand already, you can just sign up as a coach and pay the $40 sign-up fee and get that reimbursed. So it's free for you to be a coach. And then if you did need more Shakeology though, or you did need more Recover or Energize or anything like that, you could get a completion pack. You just cancel the HD that you currently have and upgrade to a completion pack. It'll save you more money that way. But those are the options of how to get started, and we would really love for you to reach out to the person who invited you to this call and kind of talk about those so you can see what's the best for you. But that's the easiest way to look at it, just like figuring out what you want to do for your, like, what is your big health goal? What is that program that you really want to commit to, whether it's bar or 6 weeks of the hard work, or just getting started with something like 21 Day Fix or one of our other awesome programs on our online library, and then you can go from there. Is that it? Did I miss anything, Nat? Or
I don't think so. I think that, scratchy. I don't think so. I think that's it. I just wanted to thank everyone for being on this call, and just remember that nothing changes if nothing changes in your life. And I'm just saying that because you can feel really good and be coasting, but you could also feel really good and challenge yourself and push yourself and, set yourself up for a life. We're setting yourself up for a life that envision your life 5 years from now. Is it checking into an office or checking your kids into daycare or taking your dog or leaving your dog home for 10 hours a day? Look at what you want your life to be and realize that there are options, whether it's this or not, to move yourself forward and not be stuck and not feel trapped. I'm saying that because that was how I felt. Am I still challenged right now at the point I'm at? Yes, I am challenged because now I want more. And now it's different feelings of feeling stuck. But I know that with my hard work and, with the support of this team, that I will next year not be working for anybody else but myself, which is really cool because I thought I'd be working there for the rest of my life. But yeah, that's another little rant. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this. And if you do have questions or concerns or anything, or you want to ask any questions, reach out to whoever invited you here. And we'll be more than happy to be an open book about how everything works. And I think that's all I have